Okay, now we'll talk about experiment 9, which is introduction to C, and how to generate the hex file to program the microcontroller. So basically what we have been doing is to generate the machine code from the assembly file. So we are writing assembly language and then translating that or building to produce the hex file. We'll do the same thing here, but we'll do it at the C level, okay? So first I'll go to some instructions. So here we're going to write a program, so we know some of the instructions. So here, this is the unsigned character, for example, and you can see it's an 8-bit, right? So from 0 to 255. So it means that the numbers are not signed, okay? So the way to do it is unsigned character, for example, A is a variable equal to 100 and the semicolon, okay? Now the signed character is the same, 8-bit, but instead the range is different. So the first digit will be for the sign, so it is from -128 to +127. This is an example of initial. And then we'll do the unsigned integer, and this is 16-bit. And you can see also it is from 0 to December. So for example, we can say unsigned integer equal to 500. Okay, so it's again from 0 to FFFF. Okay. Now the signed is the same, but the first bit is for the sign, so the range will be lower. It's not like before. And this is an example. Okay. S bit is to define a bit, only one bit. So S bit is the instruction. My bit is actually the variable name. It's equal to either to 0 or 1. Okay. All right. We'll go to the for loop. Again, we have here four initial, the initial value, the condition, and the increment, and you have the statements inside, right? And here you have the for loop, and if the for loop has nothing inside, it will be like infinite. And we could also do the same thing by using while, actually. So if we use the while when, do the same thing, right? So it will be like running forever. Now the time delay function, we'll use it as it is. I'm not going to change it. This is not a C programming lab, actually, totally. So I will not focus on this. So I'll just talk about it. The function will be defined this way. So I'm going to use the function as it is. Okay. Just wanted to point something. Let me just go down. I prefer to go to an example, but before, let me just talk about this. So I will explain the function of use the function in an example. So this is the way to read or write into the external RAM. So if you can see here, this is, if you say 0x, then this will be like the hex number, okay? So the way to access the x byte will be accumulate equal to x byte, and this is 0 equal to, for example, this number. So I can read it directly, right? I do not need to assign this to a data pointer. I can read it directly. Now to write directly also, I can like put the number and send it directly. It's different from what we are doing, in the assembly. For example, I have to say move add dptr A. So I need to put the value in the register A to send it to the LEDs or to whatever. But here I can like assign the number directly and send it. Okay. Go back here. Now, here we are going to use two libraries. One of them is this one, include 51.h. And this will be for the register and special function register. So whenever we're going to use 8051, we have to include this one. Okay. So let me come here. This is the way to define, the function for the delay. So you are going to write void the MS delay. It will not return anything, and then you have these numbers initialized, and these are the ending. So 113. The I time will be like in millisecond, I think. I'll talk about this. You have also to define the MS delay function at the top. So basically, these two lines, you're going to use them as they are. Okay. Now this is the main function. Let me just put this one here. So the main function actually will run this way. It will be running and executing the instructions here. Okay, so we have one instruction here, one instruction here, one instruction here, and then after that it will repeat the process again. Okay. Now let me clear. What do we have inside? Here he is putting also a for loop. I tried it myself without the for loop, it's working. So here he's doing an infinite loop. I don't think that we need this one here, but if you want, you can keep it. So what is happening here? Okay, so here we have the P1 register. He's putting 55, so it is actually 0101 and then 01. Okay, then you're going to call the delay. Then this is will be the complement. So this is 1010 1010. Okay. A is number 10, so this is 8 plus 2, so this is actually 8. Okay, so it's actually each one will be complemented each second, so it will be something like this for one of the lamps. Okay, so this is 500 millisecond, this is 500 millisecond. Okay, it's called here MS delay. Now if you read the book, it will tell you that you have to calculate this number to give you the delay in millisecond. And also the book tells you that the type of the compiler might make things different. Okay, so this is not fixed. So actually what I have done, I uploaded the same file on different boards in the lab, and I'm getting actually different delays. So sometimes it's giving me like 1 second total delay. Sometimes it is very fast. Sometimes it is very slow. So this is the importance if you want very precise timing, you have to use the assembly, okay, to generate the delay. Right, let me go through the example in here. So we didn't talk about is this library is if we are going to use the XPython, okay, we have to include this one. So if you see the upper one, this one, it doesn't have that library. Okay, so in here you have both libraries, right? You can see I have this library and this library. So I'm going to use the XPython somewhere. This is the delay. So here he's defining this variable to be bit 0 of register A. Okay, so whenever A changes, my bit will be changed. Okay, so let me go down. Now this is the main loop, right? So what's happening here is actually reading from the switch. You can see this one, the value will be read into A. So if my bit is equal to A, so what do I have here? I have to follow. If you remember, I have the external RAM, just consisting of 8 bits, and the switches are actually connected to here. Then I'm going to read this value into register A, okay? And I'm defining this bit to be what? To be my bit. So the name of this one is actually my bit. So you are going to read if my bit equal to 1, he's going to enter inside this if statement. If not, it will continue. So let me just clear this one. This one. So the arrow is from here to here. There is nothing after the arrow. So what will happen? If this is not 1, there is no instruction. It will go and read again. Okay. And if this is equal to 1, what will happen? It will be while 1. So it will be inside for these two every time. So we'll have this one for 200 milliseconds and this one for 200 milliseconds. So you'll have the lamps will be toggling with this with a period of actually 400 milliseconds. Okay. So you can see the delay is here as it is. And as I said, this one is here. So I must have also the library to be included, which is actually this. All right. Right. Let me just go through the example. Come here. Now this one is the same. You remember the LEDs? I have 8 of them, and the address was actually FF00 or FF01, right? So this will be connected to one LED, another. For this address now, I have the buzzer. The buzzer اللي هي الجهاز اللي يطلع لي الصوت. And these 4 is for what? The relays. These 3, I don't care about what they are for now. So forget about these. Now, for the time being, I'm not going to use this one, but I might use this one for experiment number 10. So what I need is to turn this either on or off, okay? So what will happen? If I want to turn this on, all of these should be what? 0, and this will be 0. And if so the value will be 0, 0 and hexadecimal, right? طبعا هذا الكلام is applied for both, whether I'm going to do in the C or I'm going to do in what? In the assembly. So if I want to turn this one on, I have to make this one bit number 1 and the others are 0, so it will be like 1 and 0. Okay. Let me go up. And I need to go to experiment. It's very easy, okay? It's very similar. So what I need to do here is the following. طبعا السؤال هذا قد يكون إلى أحد السكاشن, and you might have different ones, but I'm going to explain my example here. So it depends, are you going to read again or not? I mean, if this is the switch is like this, so you might have to read something or not. So what I need to do is to write a program to monitor IP0. Once it is 1, it will generate this at the alarm, which is the buzzer, and also at the same time turn on 8 LEDs. So this is for 8 LEDs. يعني المفروض أن يكون عندي هنا مثل هذه السيجنال 8. So this is the second one, for example. Okay. So let me just try to turn on my video. Not sure if you can see my hand. So what will happen? It will be like this. So when the switch is on, the 8 LEDs will be on at the same time with the buzzer. So it will be like this. Continuously, huh? Right. So I hope that this is clear. It's not difficult. You have just to manipulate the one of the codes that are actually here. Huh? Very easy, straightforward. Let me go to the other example. So in this program, I'm going to use. I'm going to read actually the switches. Okay. Again here, we have 8 switches. I'm going to monitor either IP0 or IP1. Now, before anything starts, everything is 0. What happens if IP0 is 1? It's going to turn this on, okay? And this on, okay? Continuously. Until what? Until IP1 is equal to 1. Be careful. So in here, it seems that I have to read IP0 and IP1 all the time, okay? So the way to do it, طبعا طريقة قراءة ال IP0 is fine. There is nothing in there. So you're going to read IP0. Once it is 1, once IP0 is 1, you're going to enter into another, for example, loop or something. So what happens here? It's going to read, right? If this is equal to 1, it will enter inside the if statement, and then what? It will do the while loop. For this, it's going to do this continuously. Now, what I suggest, okay, so what you're going to do here, if this is on, you're going to enter the if statement, صح? And there is a while loop. لكن الفرق بين هذه وهذه ان الوايل لوب هنا does not break. It is one, so it will not go out of this. But for the other one, it has to stay inside the while loop while the condition inside the while loop is correct. For example, مثلا, let's make x equal to 0. مثلا, it's not this one solution. Once IP0 is equal to 1, I will make x equal to 1, صح? And I will say while x is equal to 1. While x is equal to 1, معناته while x equal 1. It's not an assignment, it's a comparison, okay? So what will happen? If this is 1, it will be inside a while loop, and it will turn this sequence for as long as IP1 is equal to 0. Right. And the way to do it is actually to monitor. So I have to monitor this one. I have to read it frequently, right? So what you are going to do is actually to turn this one on and off together. And then at this stage, you're going to read what? The IP1. Right or wrong? So if you read the IP1 and it is still 0, you are going to continue. So what you will do now, you will do another sequence. This one and this one. And then you are going to read here. لو هذه استمرت 20 مرة, you are going to read after each cycle, right? So if actually this is 1, what are you going to do? You need to turn them both off, okay? And what? You have to break out this loop. So if this is 1, you need to change this so that it will break from the loop, and it should go and read the switch again. Okay? I'm not sure if I did explain it correctly. Let me just go one more time. So I'm going to monitor the switch. Okay? If this is 1, I'm going to make, for example, x equal to 1. And then that's the while loop. So you're going to turn this on and this on. So you know, this is actually 8 LEDs. Okay? And this is actually the buzzer. So it will be turning on the light with the buzzer one time. And then you're going to check again. If it is 0, do nothing, keep continuing. If yes, then you go inside the if statement, and then you need to break the condition for the while loop that is actually in here. I hope I did explain it very well. If you have a question, you can always ask by email, or you can have a meeting. I'm going to do another, probably if I have time, to do another video on how to use the software. Thank you very much.